All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Bing Ads API Quarterly Webcast. We're excited to share with you what's new and upcoming on the Bing Ads API product roadmap. Our goal with these webcasts is to make sure that you walk away with a clear understanding of the benefits of newly released features and to provide you with the resources to support adoption. Now, before we begin, I'll briefly review our webcast console. You'll see that it's customizable on your side, where you can click the content widgets on your screen, move them around, and resize them. You can expand your slide area by clicking on the maximize icon or by dragging the bottom right corner. We recommend, if you can, to leave the widgets as they are so you have the ability to see all of the resources at the same time. We're providing live captioning. You'll see the words scrolling below. You'll also see a resource list on the right side of the screen. The presentation is available to download, and there are links to topics that you'll find helpful. And for Q&A, please feel free to input your questions in the left-hand widget as you have them, and we'll answer as many as we can at the end of the webcast. Last housekeeping item. We would love for you to participate in our survey at the end of this webcast so that we can improve in any way possible. I'd now like to introduce you to our amazing PMs who will be presenting their features to you today. As for myself, my name is Andrew Jenkins, and I will be your host. I'm a business PM working on the API Partner Business team. Sebastian Ayer is in charge of our Bing Ads API product, which includes Ad Insights, Bulk, Campaign Management, Customer Management and Billing, Reporting Services, and the SDKs. He also works on location and demographic targeting. Marianne Albin is our Accounts and Billing PM focusing on sign-in, sign-up, user, and payments within Bing Ads. Haley De La Cruz works on campaign management features such as audience ads, automated bidding, and labels. And Neha Mohan focuses on product ads and Bing shopping campaigns. We do also have our technical account managers in the room who will be answering your questions live via the chat window throughout the call today, so please be sure to submit your questions. Again, we'll set aside some time at the end of the call for Q&A. Please note that many of the features discussed in today's call are either in early planning or pilot phases. Dates and information are subject to change. And with that, let's take a look at our agenda. Today we'll be covering the API v12 release, API v11 sunset, the API status dashboard, SDK updates, corporate authentication, MSA migration, the Microsoft Audience Network, and Bing shopping campaigns. I will now turn it over to Sebastian, where he will kick things off with API v12 release.
Thanks, Andrew. We're glad to announce that API v12 is now available to all customers. Next slide, please. This release includes new endpoints for all the Bing Ads API services, Ad Insight, Bulk, Campaign Management, Customer Billing, Customer Management, and Reporting. Some of the key updates we included in this release are access to accounts associated with multiple consolidated users with a single set of credentials, ability to specify a time zone in all reporting requests, ability to generate more accurate keyword and position estimates by specifying location options, and consistency in ISO, currency codes, and time zone values across all services. For a full list of updates and changes in this version of the API, please refer to all release notes. And also please note that the current release of the SDK also supports API v12. Next, please. So up next, I'll be sharing details on API v11 sunset. So with the release of API v12, API v11 is now deprecated and it will sunset on October 31st. Please note that after that date, you'll no longer be able to make calls to API v11 endpoints, and you can only call v12 endpoints at the time. Also note that after the date, technical support, SDK, and documentation support will cease. We also have no plans for whitelisting for v11 access, so we strongly encourage you to migrate your code to API v12 in order to have API access to the Bing Ads platform. Next, please. So next up, I'll be sharing some updates on the improved API status dashboard. Based on customer feedback, we made a number of changes to our dashboard site to provide faster acknowledgement of ongoing issues, timely updates on issue status and resolution, as well as overall status display. We have also made some improvements to the dashboard interface to enhance usability and to make sure the information provided there is easily accessible. You now have the ability to filter historical issues by area and or by date. And lastly, you also have more choices for subscribing to our RSS feeds. So up next, I'll be sharing updates on our latest SDK release. This release includes support for API v12, as I mentioned before, so you can start migrating immediately. A major enhancement that we introduced in this release, which is also based on customer feedback, is adding support for .NET Standard 2.0. So if you have .NET Core 2.0, you may use our new .NET SDK without any issues. For other customers who are on .NET Framework, you'll need to be on version 4.6.1 or above to use the SDK. We've also made the service version parameter required in the Python SDK to make it easier to migrate to future versions of the API. Java users will need to be on Java 8 at a minimum to access the Java SDK. And finally, this release only supports TLS 1.2. So if you're still using older versions of TLS for some reason, you'll need to upgrade your code for that. Coming up next, we have Marianne, who will talk about work or school authentication. Over to you, Marianne.
Thank you, Sebastian, for the introduction. So I'm excited to talk today about a new authentication type that will be debuting in Bing Ads, and that is work or school authentication. So what is work or school authentication? Well, for us, we're integrating with Azure Active Directory, otherwise often referred to as Azure AD. And this is an identity management service for organizations that helps them manage user identities and create intelligence-driven access policies to secure access to various services. Many large companies use Azure AD to manage their users, the services that they can access, and how they can access them. Now, how is this different from today's authentication in Bing Ads? Well, Microsoft as a whole supports two types of identities. So you have the idea of personal accounts, also deemed Microsoft accounts, or work or school accounts, which are Azure Active Directory associated accounts. Personal accounts are Microsoft's personal identity solution. They are meant for personal use, and they do leverage the latest technology in multi-factor authentication, fraud detection, and security algorithms. Work or school accounts, on the other hand, are Microsoft's corporate identity solution. These are meant for professional use. They leverage exactly the same latest technology in multi-factor authentication, fraud detection, and security algorithms, but they have this added layer that organizations can govern these identities and have centralized control over which users in their organizations will leverage these work or school accounts. So here's kind of an example of what this might look like. So as you can see, there's a single authentication endpoint where I or any other user would enter my email address, and from there you would either be directed to the regular personal MFA experience, which we have throughout Bing Ads today, or to this new experience, which is personalized to your company and has been set up by one of the IT admins. The cool thing about this page, too, is that it can be personalized by each organization separately. They can put their own branding on it. They can also include different authentication types. For example, they can say you can either verify with a username and password, or you can verify by phone, or you have to use both, depending on who you are or where you're accessing from, or even what service you're accessing. So you get a huge amount of flexibility and personalization at an organizational level when it comes to work or school authentication. So today, Bing Ads only has support for Microsoft accounts, these personal accounts that I was mentioning earlier. We are really excited to integrate with Azure AD to give organizations greater control over who can access their accounts. This is something we've heard from many organizations that they would love if we started to support. So when employees leave an organization, their access to their organizational Bing Ads users will be automatically removed. That's also a big thing that we've been hearing from our organizational users. With work or school authentication, companies will be able to govern how users access their Bing Ads accounts and set up rules for access. So for example, I can go as detailed as I want. Employees have to use multi-factor authentication specifically to use Bing Ads, but not to use Office. For example, you get that level of granularity with this. So what will we land this year? New users will be able to sign up for Bing Ads directly with their work credentials if their organization uses Azure AD. No more need to create a MSA or a personal account. You can use your pre-existing organizational accounts to access Bing Ads. existing users whose organization uses Azure AD will be able to switch to using their work or school credentials. So just because you're using a personal Microsoft account today does not bar you from switching that over to a work or school credential. Organizations will also be able to enforce that all of the users on their accounts have to authenticate with their work or school credentials. And lastly, organizations will be able to enforce how users authenticate with things, for example, with two-factor authentication. Now, what does this mean for the API? So to authenticate work or school credentials, technical partners will need to integrate with a converged endpoint that enables authentication for both personal and work or school credentials. That's that screen that I was showing earlier. We don't have an exact time frame yet, but look out for a blog post from us to announce that the new endpoint is officially available for testing. And we're making sure that this change will be compatible with both V11 and V12. So the second update that I have today is regarding the MSA migration, which is currently ongoing. This is the process of migrating all our users from a username-password combination to a Microsoft account. This migration is now well underway. The web UI for this migration launched for all in May, and this does not impact access to the API using managed credentials for now. The sunset of managed credentials in the API has been officially announced and will be enforced as of the 1st of August this year. For the smoothest migration experience, we do encourage you to migrate onto V12 by this timeline. That's it for today from me. I'll pass the reins over to Haley, who will be covering the Microsoft audience now.
Thank you, Marianne. So I'm Haley, and I'm here to talk about, hopefully for the first time for many of you, to introduce you to the new Microsoft Audience Network. So what is it? Why should you advertise on it? There are 4 top reasons that you should participate in the new Audience Network. First and foremost, it's a smarter way to reach your ideal customers. You can target the right customers by combining a rich set of intent signals with high-quality user profile attributes and more. In this new network, you can continue to leverage powerful audience targeting such as remarketing and in-market audiences. Furthermore, we are introducing new professional profile targeting based on LinkedIn professional profiles. Second, the Microsoft Audience Network has massive reach that you can trust. With audience ads, you can reach hundreds of millions of people through sites that are brand safe, including MSN, Outlook, and more. Third, the Microsoft Audience Network provides native experiences that perform. Our high-quality ad placements our high-quality native ad formats naturally blend into the core user experience and regularly outperform traditional display advertising. Microsoft Audience Ads have seen a 40% greater click-through rate than the native ads industry average click-through rate. Fourth, the Microsoft Audience Network provides boosted performance using artificial intelligence. Beneath the hood, the Microsoft Audience Network is using artificial intelligence and machine learning for ad selection, relevancy matching, as well as pricing, click, and conversion prediction, so that we can deliver you the best return on investment. Audience ads are already live today on MSN, Outlook, and Microsoft Edge web browser. Work is currently underway to expand to new publishers, and this is a preview of what many of these ads look like. So how do you get started? There are 2 ways that you can participate in the Microsoft Audience Network. First is for convenience. You can easily extend your search campaigns to be enabled for audience ads. This option is available for search advertisers looking to capture more high-quality clicks and conversions through native. Second, you can build new audience campaigns. This is a new campaign type that we are currently developing and in limited beta. This option is available for native advertisers who are currently managing audiences on Facebook, Google Display Network, and Yahoo Gemini. Let's take a deeper look into the first workflow, the extension of search campaigns. Okay. So by default, search campaigns are opted into the Microsoft Audience Network for those that are in our pilot. The way that you can manage this setting is with the audience ads bid adjustment field, which you can find at the campaign level and at the ad group level. You can change the setting to be anywhere between -90% and +900%. What this does is it controls how you want to bid for ads that appear on the network. And if you wanted to opt out of audience ads, simply set this bid adjustment to -100%. And you can manage images for these new native placements by leveraging image extensions. If you're already using images to advertise on Google Display Network, Facebook, or Yahoo Gemini, then you can simply use those exact same images and our platform will accept them. So this is an example of how your ads will look like on the audience network if you're leveraging your expanded text ads with new image extensions. As you can see, we will combine your expanded text ads with image extensions into an ad placement that naturally blends into the core user experience of any publisher on the network. And best of all, there's no new performance reports required. The reports that you are pulling today, most of them should have the ad distribution column already available. Simply add this column to your reports, and you should expect to see two values. Search represents performance that you've gotten from your search ads on our search network, and audience represents performance from your audience ads on our audience network. So that was an overview of the first option. The new option that we are creating is a new audience campaign type. So let's take a closer look. The new audience campaign type it will be used for both managing static image ads on the audience network as well as dynamic product campaigns on the audience network. You can set a dynamic product campaign on the audience network by setting the shopping setting and associating a store ID from Bing Merchant Center for this campaign. This is optional. You can still set up an audience campaign without a store if you don't manage any stores. And as well as with Bing shopping campaigns today, you can also, if you do have a store, you can optionally set a product scope with the following product condition values. So targeting, let's talk about that. That's the most exciting part. So first and foremost, there is no concept of keyword targeting for the new audience campaign type. Instead of focusing on bidding on keywords, we encourage you to focus on bidding on audiences. So we are introducing and updating a selection of ad group criterion types to help you leverage audience targeting to its fullest potential on our audience network. I will go into our updates to age targeting, our brand new company targeting, updates to gender targeting, and brand new industry targeting, new in-market audiences, new job functions, and new product audiences. All right, so for first and foremost, we are introducing 3 new professional targeting ad group criterion types: company name, industry, and job function. These allow you to target users based on the professional profile information that we know about these users based on their LinkedIn profiles. Both company name and industry allow you to target users based on the companies that they're currently employed in, and job function allows you to target users based on the current category of work that they are currently employed in. We have 26 job functions and 147 industries, and we currently support 80,000 companies with more to come. For all of these 3 new professional demographic dimensions, we do allow you can target them, you can exclude them, and you can adjust bids for them in much the same way that you can do for audience associations today. We are also expanding the selection of in-market audiences available for audience campaigns. The new audience campaign type will be able to leverage over 400 in-market audiences, which is a notable increase from the over 170 in-market audiences that we make available for search campaigns today. We are also updating and enhancing your capabilities to target on age and gender criterion types. For audience campaigns only at this time, you will be able to target, exclude, or bid differently based on unknown for age and gender. And we are also introducing the ability to exclude based on age and gender as well. Probably the most exciting change here is that we are introducing a new audience type as well, product audiences. Some of you may know this as dynamic remarketing. A product audience is essentially a remarketing list that allows you to target users based on the specific products that they've interacted with. You may have a remarketing list today that tries to target shopping cart abandoners, customers who added something to their cart but did not complete their workflow. Today, the best that you can do is target users based on the pages that they've landed on or based on some keywords in the URL. Product audiences will actually retarget users based on the specific product IDs that they have interacted with. We support 5 product audiences at this time. General visitors, which allow you to target products based on people who have visited your website. We do have product searchers and product viewers, which allows you to target people based on the products that they've interacted with, either on a search experience or on just a product listing page. We have shopping cart abandoners and past buyers. So past buyers also allows you to target based on users who have already purchased some product. For product audiences, you can, just like with other audience associations, you'll be able to target, exclude, and bid differently based on users' membership in these audiences. So one last requirement in order to make product audiences build successfully in Bing Ads is that you must start tracking product ID and page type as part of your UET tag. So you can track these similarly to how you track custom events today by appending the following code to your existing tag. Note that the product ID in this tag must match the product ID in your Bing Merchant Center store. We are also expanding the capability of the ad group target setting field. So target setting, as many of you have seen with audience targeting, it allows you to set whether you want a particular dimension to be target and bid or bid only. Bid only makes it possible for you to easily bid differently for different people based on the targeting dimension without limiting the reach of your ads. And target and bid is probably what most of you consider the typical way to target based on criterion types, where you only serve to people that match the targets that you've associated. In Google, they do call bid only also observation targets, if you've heard that before. For audience campaigns specifically, you will be able to leverage the target setting fields with the following criterion types: age, audience, company name, gender, job function, and industry. For audience campaigns, we also have a brand new ad type. We are calling the responsive ad type. The following fields are applicable. You can see them on the screen. Most notably, there are 2 headlines, the long headline and the normal headline, which is also the short headline. The idea of the responsive ad is that you give us the skeleton of your ad, and we will reorganize it. We will pick and choose what works for this ad based on the native placement that ad is bidding to be a part of. You also should, the same way that you provide 2 headlines, where you can also provide 2 images, a wide image and a square image. The wide image must be 1.91 to 1 aspect ratio. We will also choose, depending on the placement, which image is best for that particular unit. And here's some screenshots of what these ads will look like. Similar to what you saw earlier with the expanded text ads and image extensions, your long headline and your short headline may be used in different contexts here. Your square image, your wide image may be used in different contexts depending on what is best in order to naturally blend into the core user experience of the publisher. Reporting is largely the same as with search campaigns. The only notable difference is that we are introducing 2 new reports, one for age and gender, in order for you to get proper reporting on the new unknown type, as well as the new target setting, we are introducing a new age, gender, audience report. So if you are managing audience campaigns, this is the report that you should use moving forward for getting age and gender reporting. And we are introducing a new professional demographics audience report. And this report will contain reporting information for all of the LinkedIn dimensions: company, industry, and job function. And if you wanted to get campaign ad group ad level reporting, you will be able to continue to leverage your existing campaign performance report, ad group performance report, ad performance report, and so on. Now I'm going to turn it over to Neha to talk about Bing Shopping campaign.
Hi, everybody. I'm Neha. I'll be talking about Bing Shopping campaigns and a set of features that are upcoming in the roadmap, as well as a few that we've just recently launched. We've bucketed them into, two segments. First, we'll be talking about annotations and extensions that we're launching, which will enhance your shopping ads, the multiple images and product ads, free shipping, and merchant callout. And then a few features that we have released to help with management of your shopping campaigns, as well as feed management. The free shipping annotation for product ads. This has been recently released. Basically, what you will notice is within your shopping ad, you will see an annotation calling out if the product is available for free shipping or not. We've noticed that this annotation, when used, increases, the click-through rate of the ad, as the shoppers are more informed about the product they will be purchasing. The way this feature is released and how you can use it is via ensuring that you have a new attribute called shipping, or a shipping column in your feed files, and you have a value of 0 within that column. The 0 annotates that this particular item is available for free shipping. This column is already available. You can code to it via Content API, or you could add this column in your manual or FTP feed file uploads. Alternately, if you have a shipping policy that is applicable to your entire store, you can set this up in your Bing Merchant Center UI as well. Next slide, please. Multiple images in product ads. This is currently under development, and we are hoping to start the flight in early June. But the data for this particular experience that you can start sending to us as soon as possible. The data for this can be sent to us using an additional image link attribute in the Content API feed files, or in the FTP or manual uploaded feed files. This specific column can take up to 10 additional images. So we will be enhancing your existing image with the option of viewing multiple variants of the same image when we show your product ads, either in the main Bing.com page or in the shopping page as well. Again, the experience is geared towards driving more user engagement with the ad and having more informed users before they click on your ad, hence helping you convert them better. The next one, please. Merchant callout annotations. This will be a new image-based annotation. Again, the pilot for this will start in early June. This is going to be based off on a specific call out that is unique to you, or that is unique to a merchant. Like if you have special pricing, or if you have a special royalty program, which is your USP, and you want to highlight that, then this is something that you could leverage. The setup on this is going to be very similar to how you set up merchant promotions. The image which you see here as part of this example, that is provided by the merchant himself, or it will be provided by the advertiser themselves, and we would be approving it and using it on your ad copies only. If there are more questions on this, please feel free to reach out to your account teams if you want to be considered as one of the pilot customers for this. the matching product count in campaigns. Now, this is a very specific new report that we have launched to help with optimizing your shopping campaigns. This report typically shows, 4 columns: the products submitted, products ready to serve, products targeted, and percentages of the products targeted. Over time, what typically happens is your feeds change or churn, what you've noticed is that the percentages of product being targeted by each product group, that also changes, and you could end up with a campaign that is not really targeting all your products the way you intended it to be. Periodically pulling up this report will help you monitor for that specific use case, and also monitor when you see any dips in performance. This can be your go-to self-diagnostic method also. You can see this data in the UI, as well as you can pull a report for this as well. It's called the product match count report, which will show you data at the product group level, at the ad group level, and consolidated at the campaign level as well. Moving ahead to the final set of features, GMC import and BMC store via UAT tags. We've been talking about GMC import in the past couple of calls as well. This feature is now GA'd, so if you couldn't leverage it while we were in pilot, we would encourage you to go and try it out right now. This would really help you get off your feet really quickly in setting up shopping campaigns, as you don't have to do a specific feed setup on Bing. You can import your feeds directly from Google onto Bing, and you can have them on a scheduling cadence as well. You could do a daily import, weekly or a monthly import, and anything in between as well. And it's just a one-time setup in BMC UI, and you really don't need to do any specific coding to set import up. The second and a very important piece of the whole setup is store creation via UAT tags. There used to be a lot of heartache in trying to create BMC stores via the Bing Webmaster tool, as it required some back and forth between the customers and the webmasters. With this feature, we're trying to eliminate that pain point. So if you already have UAT tags with us and you have set them up on your website, now you can use those tags to verify your domain, and we would allow store creations very smoothly with that process. All you need to do is, just validate it via UAT tag, and that's about it, and we would approve the store creation process. So that's all in terms of wrapping up with the shopping campaign features. I will pass it on to Andrew to take us forward with question and answers.
Great, thank you, Neha. So let's go ahead and transition to Q&A. Give us just a moment to pull up the questions. So I see a couple of questions. Again, feel free to submit those. Start here. Can you share when code samples will be ready for MSAN? Eric, would you mind helping us with that?
Hey everyone, it's Eric. I'm on the documentation, SDK, and code samples team. We're going to have Microsoft Audience Network samples coming out in the next week here, so keep an eye out for that. And just to plug, we released a version 11.12.2 of our SDK this last week. So in that release, you can find the bulk mappings. For example, bulk responsive ad that lets you read and write the responsive ad bulk records pretty seamlessly. So keep an eye out for that too.
Cool. Thanks, Eric. All right, so the second question is, does the ad distribution reporting column include the audience value on V11, or is this only available on V12? Bashan, would you be?
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, this is Bashan on the PM4 API. So just want to clarify that in V11, we're referring to this column as native, and then in V12, it basically is renamed to audience. So we actually have that mentioned in our documentation. So if you go to the ad distribution report filter, that also has the same set of values that we return in the column. So you can certainly confirm that there as well.
Great. Allowing a moment for any final questions to come in. If there are none, we will go ahead and wrap up. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for joining the May edition of our Bing Ads API webcast. And thanks to each of the PMs as well for presenting your content. Everyone have a great rest of your day.